man, fantastic futuristic looking world. Age 1000. Of course, this is being based off the Dragon Ball Online game, but Akira Toriyama clearly with these designs have gone ahead and made West City look way more futuristic and everything, and this is fantastic. Yeah, you guys probably saw in my reaction video, I love Ozaru, basically better known as the Great Ape in the Funimation / Crunchyroll dubs. Yeah, so I really love that they got that in the background, and just this background, man, this animation, phenomenal. And there we get our first look at the new character called Brett, I believe. And I really love his outfit, because his outfit to me just kind of reminds me of Son Gohan, which actually there might be a clear tie-in with his name. But yeah, he reminds me of Son Gohan earlier on when he first appears in Dragon Ball with the same type of colors, the yellows, the reds, the greens. And I really love the way they do these, the way it materializes, the holograms and stuff, basically, or I guess it just comes out of thin air. And yeah, that's how he's able to do it, because you know, you look at what they've done with capsules, and now this technology, hologram, smart technology, which I think, like, yeah, that might be what we're using not too far in the future, at least sometime in our lifetime. And this is where he plays this character's music, which you guys saw me when I first heard that track. I'm like, yo, I need this on my playlist right now. So yeah, I'm like, I need to find out what that song is and everything, and hopefully it's going to get a full release. But yeah, man, that was a banging theme, and yeah, I'm like yeah, I'm head bobbling, head banging to the theme too. So we see Brett there looking all ready, and just that run, typical run and stuff. Man, there's a run back in Dragon Ball where in Z, where the thin evil Majin Buu is running across water or something like that, or was it Super Buu, and they're running like ha 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 ha. So that's such a dramatic classic Dragon Ball run right there. And so yeah, we're just getting a cool look with Brett, man. This animation is amazing. Like, this is just got to be like, this is how Dragon Ball animation is going to be looking moving forward. Fantastic stuff as he runs towards the camera, and they got the pausing, and it's really good. And then I see that poor old man in the background, man, as we're going to see coming up a particular Dragon Ball character who clearly has been abusing the Dragon Balls or time travel to keep herself looking young. You can't help this old man out, you know, in the future. If you're able to walk around and look that good at 200 something plus years old, Bluma, aka Boma, you can't help this guy out, or you know, I'm just wondering, like, man, and everything. So yeah, we've got one character here who has defied Father Times, and then other characters right here who clearly looks like, yep, Father Times certainly remains undefeated, unless you're Bluma, of course, aka Boma. More about that coming up. But yeah, just the artwork and everything in this, just phenomenal. The Capsule Corporation logo plastered all over West City. So I just really love the designs, and this was really cool, interesting, as we see his hair go by. There it is. If you didn't see it in our trailer, our boy Piccolo is still alive. It is very interesting how Namek Saiyajin / Namekians, how they age and everything, because if you all remember, Piccolo is only roughly about maybe between 4 to 6 years older than Gohan, because he was born about 3 years in the time skip of Tenkaichi Budokai, the 23rd one. So he's like 3 years old and is already a grown man. He went from a baby to almost a grown man. Heck, he even came out I won't say womb, but he came out the egg almost the size of Kid Goku. Like, screw the toddler age and whatever, or something like that. If I remember in OG Dragon Ball correctly, it's been a while since I've seen it. But then when you get to that, he's almost a dang near grown young man. And then, you know, there's the 5 years that pass after that, and he's furthermore matured. So yeah, the 3, the 5. So yeah, he's about like 8 years older than Gohan is when they meet, or no, yeah, about 4 or 6. I forget. Yeah, Gohan was born that age, so like he's roughly about 4 or 5 years older. So yeah, but we do know Guru, the elder of the Namekians, lived a long time. So how long Piccolo is living is interesting. I don't know the full story about Dragon Ball Online, just only the parts that I've researched. Or shout out to my cousin who's a far more knowledgeable Dragon Ball fan than I am and everything. Shout out if you're watching out there, love you, cuz. But yeah, man, yeah, it's great crazy. Piccolo has lived this long and everything. It makes me want to learn more about Namekian age for sure. And then I guess that's a taxi. And this guy, man, he is feeling himself jacked. He's got purple hair. He ain't got a care in the world. Like, just really enjoying the future. So yeah, these people are happy, and it's good because Earth has been through so much over the centuries that have gone on. So yeah, especially in that age 700, it freaking blew up, right? So yeah, he's chilling and everything. And yeah, I'm liking the designs here, and nice little outside mall urban looking area as we see Brett running, and then we see this lady. I don't know if she's gonna play a big role in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3, so I guess we'll have to see. And you know, look, she's enjoying her time, like ha 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 ha. Oh, I love Dragon Ball reactions, man. Dragon Ball, you could have one character in one moment being like ha ha ha, oh, or you gotta be like, I wonder what, oh, or they could be like, wow, that's so cool, oh. You gotta love it, man. Those typical Dragon Ball reactions. I love the run when he's, you know, running in place. We don't know what the heck he's saying, but he's just up here running in place and all that stuff. And when he's running in place here, that's where I'm wondering, someone did this. I think it may have been Gohan. Once again, another nod about Son Gohan. I feel like there was a scene in Dragon Ball, I can't remember right now live on stream, but there was a scene where Gohan was like just running in space like that, looking back. So yeah, that's a really cool nod to that moment. And then, you know, obviously he's asking for forgiveness because he just brushed right past him, and then typical Son Goku goodbye. I love it, man. I love these references. I didn't see, this is why I like doing these frame by frame breakdowns. Fry pan, and look how it's got on the F, it's got like, it looks like the Ox King's hat that he wears. So once again, maybe more nod that this guy has got to be part of Gohan's lineage and everything and stuff like that, especially with his puns, because Brad is possibly pretty much his pun from that. So yeah, and so these characters are like, oh, you know, I really want to know what was said, because this is all just music in this portion. And yeah, whatever they said, man, it made them left puzzled, and then they are livid. Yeah, they are angry. Whatever he said, I needs to know it, and I wants to know it now. So yeah, Capsule Corp Tower, man. Yeah, Capsule, like, did Bluma, aka Boma, just expand it throughout the entire city? So I'm really interested. All right, this character right here looking like SS3 Goku with the eyebrows missing and the blue hairs with the black pupils. And we look at the hair, there's the blue hair there. So looks like this guy is from Bluma, aka Boma's family lineage and things of that nature. So we see them basically right there just chilling. Just the animation is amazing. I love the shadows, the details here. And then we see Brett running away and then jumping off into the air, flying away. And then there's the girl who was looking. Now that I'm actually watching this frame by frame, it almost looks like, is she a Kaioken? Like is she like related to the East Kaioken, aka the Supreme Kai, and his brother and sister that we saw in Dragon Ball Daima and stuff like that? I'm wondering. But yeah, basically she's up here singing, and I love the texture that they use. The texture that they use for the LED screen. And what was really nice, I noticed doing this frame by frame, what's really cool is you could see, just like if you ever record your phone, like a screen with your phone, you can see the different images fading into one another. So that was a really nice detail. Like, animation is on point. I love it. Look how it looks like a real LED screen. They were absolutely on point. New release out now. So maybe, like I said, we're gonna get her song and everything. And I love how it's like 3D and it comes on out of the screen. Like, that's really cool. And just that shot right there, the backlit, love that he's backlit, of course, with the light illuminating. And then you're getting more of the Capsule Corporation holograms there. So that was cool. And just these backgrounds are gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous, man. I'm loving these backgrounds. Hey, shout out, we got Don J214 in the chat. There is no telling how many Saiyan descendants there are in the age of 1000 if there is humans who have the small portion of the Saiyan genes. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how many Saiyans are out here. I'm pretty sure, obviously, they're going to want to know, is it being Xenoverse 3? You're going to want to play as Saiyan characters and stuff. So I'm interested to see where where that goes and everything. Thanks for joining the chat. And you see Brett landing right down here and stuff slowing down and everything. I just love the details in the animation. So great as he's looking off into that hologram, and then the image went to black, and there we go. So we got our look at all the new characters. The male white-haired Saiyajin, who of course we saw in the first trailer. We have a new female, and we don't know if she's human or Saiyajin yet, because we know the male Saiyajin and the white hair. We know he can go Super Saiyajin, but we don't know about the orange-haired female Saiyajin, so or human. We don't know. So I'm interested to see her character. We got Brett, of course, and there you have Bloom, basically like the head honcho looking over, as we soon will see. This is Bluma. What I found interesting here is, look at there, we got Gamma 1. Now it makes sense that Gamma 1, being that he's a android type of character, that he would still be living. But my thing about this is, it's been over 200 to 300 years since the events of Dragon Ball Superhero, more or less 200 years. And in all that time, you're telling me Bluma, aka Boma, has not gone ahead and made a version 2 of Gamma 2? Or maybe that gets revealed later on, he's on some other mission. But if that's the case, what up with that? Surely Bluma, if she in her lifetime could find a way to completely be able to make the machine that would be able to take out 17 and 18 just based on the blueprints that Dr. Garo, aka Dr. Gero, left behind, then surely she would know how to create another Gamma. I mean, it wasn't Dr. Harrow with her in the movie? So I'm like, why is Gamma 2 not back here? They're this deep far in the future. I guess there goes the whole thing. I was hoping Gamma 2 would get remade eventually when Dragon Ball Super manga continues, but I guess not. Don Jada Chan says, I'm just glad Piccolo is still living, so maybe he is teaching a new generation of warriors who are related to Son Goku and Vegeta. Yes, absolutely glad to see Piccolo is living and stuff and everything, and that definitely is plausible. Of course, the Age 1000 is going to have the newer Namekians, where you have the light green around like the goatee looking thing, but it's actually, you know, just their skin and stuff. But yeah, we got Bluma here, aka Boma. Yo, I gotta applaud her. Can we talk about the fact that Bluma, aka Boma, has knocked out mother effing Father's Times, gave him a uppercut and said, you ain't coming nowhere near aging my body. This woman has abused the Dragon Ball. She done gone up here and used time machines. So it's just, oh man, there's so many theories right now as far as how she did it. She's either done time travel because we know she could create the time machine, or she has abused the Dragon Balls and constantly made herself younger, or maybe she just wished for eternal youth, or maybe she drunk from whatever Roshi drunk to give himself eternal life or eternal youth. I know Roshi's still probably alive in this time and everything, but yeah, but it's really sad if Bluma has outlived her husband Vegeta, because if you guys follow Dragon Ball Online, basically I think the story goes about like it was age 801 or around more or less age 800. Goku and Vegeta, it said, basically got old and in their elderly age went off somewhere in space to have one final battle, and they either died of natural causes at old age, or they died in one last battle, went out fighting each other. And Bluma's still here looking young as ever some 200 plus years later. Oh man, so that's kind of sad to know, like, oh dang, she just outlived her Vegeta. She gave herself the hookup but not her husband the hookup. Like, that kind of just sounds sad. So I really want to see more where this story is going. Don J the chat says they fought in space to their last fight and created a supernova. Yes, supernova. I did forget that detail and everything and stuff like that. Maybe you've played Dragon Ball Online or you're just aware of the details and stuff. But yeah, I did forget about that detail. Created like a big supernova, which, hey, sounded like an absolute bang of a way for the two greatest Saiyajins of all time to go out and stuff like that. So yeah, how that's going to be reflected in this game is going to be very interesting to see, because Son Goku and Vegeta are such popular characters, and of course you're going to want them in Dragon Ball Xenoverse, so it'll be interesting to see how they go about that and everything and stuff like that. And yeah, Gamma 1 still around, totally makes sense, and it's cool because you can tell this is Toriyama's reinvention of essentially how they had things set up for it, basically in Dragon Ball Online, because, you know, at the time he made it, that was like in, I think, the early early 2000s, long before Dragon Ball Superhero. But now here he decided to go ahead and add it and everything because Toriyama, you know, right up to his passing, he lived to see how far technology has come in the real world and was able to implement that in this upgraded version of Age 1000. So yeah, and so we got Brett there. So far, I'm really enjoying Brett's character work. He just seems like a great Dragon Ball character I am going to love and everything. Like, it just has all those great parts and stuff that you would look for him in the as a character. Like I said, he's got to be a descendant of Son Goku and Gohan. I love this. I wonder if that's how the game's interface is gonna look when you're creating your characters in Xenoverse 3. So that's really awesome and everything. And I'm loving the new way. This is obviously got to be the new Great Saiyan outfits and everything, and we see it. And the way it forms is just awesome. I love like this little time warp, and he's getting all serious and stuff and everything. And I love this little green block comes out and completely starts changing his body. Love the glasses or the goggles or whatever you call it, the shield and everything. And then he's all happy right there, and you can see inside. This is actually, now that I'm looking at it, this is inside the same hologram sparring place that we saw in the first Age 1000, trailer and stuff, where we saw the white-haired Saiyajin fighting those holograms. Like, they beat them down like they stole something. And you start seeing right here where the sparkles start coming on the outfits, and that's really cool. And how it takes over. I love these visual effects. Like, this looks so much cooler than when Gohan was doing the Great Saiyan and stuff like that. Like the new boots and the way it just transforms and everything and turns on. Like, imagine if putting on clothes was this easy and everything. Like, wow, like that's cool, man. The GS Great Saiyan must be a tribute to it. So I'm loving the new outfits, just really awesome, and the Capsule Corp logo and how it changes. And look at that, just how my man is standing right there already, all about to be on business. The sparkles in the eyes, and it shines, and the green Broly like glowing, and even the helmet looks awesome. Like, I think this looks sick. It looks like a more simplified version of the Great Saiyan outfit as it pans up here. I'm digging it, actually. I really do. It reminds me like when Gohan took off the helmet in the Majin Buu saga and took off the cape. Like, that was actually a pretty cool looking outfit, and I think that's why I like it so much. It really is awesome. Don J in the chat says, before they reintroduce the Age 1000 setting, I really hope they go back and mention Son Goku Jr. 100 after GT, since he is a direct descendant of Son Goku and Pan. That is interesting. Will they implement Son Goku Jr. and Vegeta Jr. in this? And I guess it's not too far off the realm of possibility, because there are GT characters in Age 1000, as I believe the GT timeline is treated as its own separate timeline and stuff. So I mean, especially when you get into like Dragon Ball Heroes, it gets all kinds of wacky and everything. So yeah, there's no reason why I wouldn't say, yeah, go ahead and add Goku Jr. and Vegeta Jr. in the game for sure. So yeah, this is just really cool. So yeah, the more I look at it now, I really love this Great Saiyan design. They got the shoulders instead of the cape, man. This is awesome. I love it. Look at that city. You knew the animators were going hard on that, man. Just phenomenal, man. They say Toriyama was working on this game, and all the respect to the late great Akira Toriyama to design all this and these concepts and stuff towards the end of his life and everything, just still going all out to give us Dragon Ball fans more of his awesome creativity. I really love it. And I just love that shot of him looking back, man. It is so cool, and you just get the look on that building. Awesome. Don J in the chat says that futuristic Great Saiyan Man outfit is cool, though it gives me Sentai and Power Ranger edge. Well, you know, the whole Great Saiyan Man, the Ginyu Force, the poses, yeah, it is pretty much based on all that stuff. So hey, it makes sense. It totally makes sense. And I love the aura coming up from the feet, and then he bends down to go ahead and do the power up, and then we got the aura, and then he flies off, and I love that shot. I had to use it as the thumbnail for this live stream. frame. So yeah, and I love that it's transparent. We can see the green and everything. Like, whoo, the more I look at it, the more I love these new Great Saiyan Man designs. It's simplistic, but it freaking works. And yeah, I love it, man. Like I said, I haven't even seen too much of this Brett character, but I am definitely loving it. Loving the new character flying off into the sky right in there. So yeah, this has got to be a good look at what Dragon Ball Super is going to be looking like in the future. Legendary Akira Toriyama presents. And so that's that woman earlier that he was getting mad at, and she's writing. At first I thought she was maybe a teacher or a student or something, but yeah, she's looking, and like I said, Dragon Ball characters, they just be out of nowhere. Be playing game. Or they'll be in the middle talking about, you know, on the phone. Yeah, man, so the other day, you would never believe. Sorry, man, I'm just in right now. You gotta love these Dragon Ball characters, man. So she's looking up there, and he's flying and all in the sky and everything. And you gotta wonder, are people used now in Dragon Ball, in this Dragon Ball world, are they used to seeing people fly in the sky after all these years with the technology? You gotta imagine it can't be such a novice type of thing. As it was explained in the Buu Saga, from Gohan to Videl, every character in Dragon Ball has ki within them, but it just takes a lot of training to bring it out of you, and not everyone obviously could do that. So I'm loving how he's flying around. New game project, Age 1000. And this was our first look at essentially how the graphics are going to look on the PS5. So love the reflection details, and he lands on the ground. And I still got to maintain, as we see the belt and moving up on the outfit, it really, to me, looks like it's all the CGI here is almost on the same level for the game, if these are the game graphics, or maybe it's just the CGI graphics they're using for cutscenes, but it really looks almost nearly on the level to me as Dragon Ball Superhero. So I am all for that. That looks awesome. And when I talk about these Dragon Ball characters, 1 minute is like, oh, now they're smiling. Like, why is he smiling? And then he's like, oh. Like, what you paranoid about so much, bro? What are you? Well, we know he's a Saiyan. We don't know if Brett he could go Super Saiyan or not yet, and everything. He should be able to. But yeah, so we get the white-haired Saiyan who lands down, and then you got him saying hi there. He's all ready. So we did I enjoyed the voice acting and everything. I'm not sure who the voice actors were, but I thought they did a phenomenal job making these characters sound youthful and young and exciting and things like that. And we get our good looks there. It must be me, and I get the feeling of what we're seeing. Brett seems to be the outgoing one. He's the character. He's the guy that's like, he brings the life to the party. You know, he's the guy that gets everybody all riled up. Whereas the white-haired Saiyan character here that we saw in the first Xenoverse, he seems more serious, more stern, and all that stuff. He smiles a little bit, but yeah, he's back to being business right there and everything. And so you see both of them getting on guard. And I was wondering, like, who are they looking at? But they are on guard, and I love how he takes a little breath. Let's do this. And basically there you go, and they end up going ahead and taking off. Brett's left behind right there, and we see him flying there. I love the outfits, and this was the big moment. I love the way they did the reveal, as if we didn't know, as mentioned in my last live stream, the Southeast Asian account for a YouTube account for Bandai Namco accidentally went ahead and put in there the Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 that it was for, but we all knew what it was gonna be and stuff. And you see the graphics, and there it is. I said in the reaction, they finally omitted it, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3. So that was cool, and I love the logo and everything. We got the 3 represented in the back there. So yeah, I mean, I'm super stoked for everybody. We'll take a quick break here. So yeah, that looks really awesome. Love it. Love the Xenoverse 3 trailer. It's been a long time coming for a lot of people. And then you get the eyes opening here in this nighttime scene, and yeah, this whole place looks really awesome. Like the details that they put in this messy area. Honestly, I think it's not too far from almost how Toriyama's actual, what was it, his office had looked like, where he did his studio and everything and stuff. I feel like I've seen something that looks similar to this and everything. So that's a really cool nod there. And then you have this thing that opens up I guess it's like the special way they open the windows here. And that was really cool. So I really did like that. Whatever this thing is, is. So I just want to know more about this world. And this is where it was just always some of Toriyama's best creativity, is his realm building, the way he built these different worlds, and it just makes you like suckered in, because you just like, wow, like what does this do? What is this? Like, man, it's so awesome. Don J in the chat says, I really want the creators to reintroduce Vegeta's brother Tarble, since he is the only other Saiyajin left with a tail. Yeah, Tarble never made one appearance in the entire Dragon Ball Super. He was in Yo Son Goku and His Friends Returns 2008 special, but we haven't seen him yet. So it would be great to see him come back and everything and stuff like that. So yeah, I think this is how they open the windows, and it's like the window got broken open or something. That thing gets sent flying, or yeah, it goes out of there, and we get a good look, futuristic. Yeah, I'm getting total like Futurama vibes and stuff like this when you see the city and stuff, man. It's crazy. You see all of this in the area, just like, look at that. That's gorgeous. So this is how it looks like the West City is gonna look in the game. Because was it like Toki City and Content City? I haven't played these Xenoverse games in a decade, so forgive me, y'all, but it was like there were two different cities, I think, in the Xenoverse games, and then this one is the futuristic West City. So we get to explore this in Xenoverse 3. Yo, this is awesome. Like, I definitely want to walk around this and see it and all that stuff. So yeah, we get all this really cool stuff here. Don J in the chat says he was also in the Raging Blast 2 game also. Oh yeah, man, I didn't really play Raging Blast 2, but I think, yeah, you're right. He was playable in the game, and they ain't put him back since. Well, I'm pretty sure Sparking Zero is going to put him in there. That's for sure. And we'll be getting up to Sparking Zero breakdown coming up soon here. But yeah, this is the part where we get this machine. Yeah, you can start seeing it flies out of nowhere, and it's clearly Bluma, aka Bulma. There she is, and she's lost control. I don't know. You would think she would have an easy time at controlling these machines with how long she's been around, but I guess maybe it's a little bit harder to get. And like, boom, just comes and knocks out the port right here inside you. Man, just think about it. That's just all you need. I had a good night rest, gonna open the curtains, and then this girl just comes flying out of nowhere from a helicopter. Boom. Yeah, man, who got time for all that in the morning? She just comes bashing right in, like, he's like, oh, and they just end up going flying. Like, look at the position Bluma's body's in. It's like she's getting an RKO out of nowhere. For my WWE fans that watch Randy Orton, that's exactly how wrestlers be looking when they get the RKO. And boom, she just does a whole full stomach first splash right there, Bluma does. And man, look at the white-haired Saiyan. He's all contorted and something. Hey, Bluma accidentally did more damage here than them holograms did that we saw against him in Xenoverse in the first trailer. My man up here rolling, doing like a whole rock sale, a Stone Cold Stunner. If y'all are WWE fans, the Rock was this is how the Rock would take a Stone Cold Stunner, rolling all over the ground and stuff to sell the action. Man, oversell job. Two of the latest Bluma up here selling, man. Dang. Oh, yo, I didn't recognize that. we got two references, y'all. Two references. The white-haired Saiyan has been put in the Yamcha position. That is legit the Yamcha position after the Cyberman blows him up. Oh, this is why I love doing these frame-by-frame breakdowns. You miss these details. And look at Bluma. She got her booty stuck up in the air. She's literally been put in the Raccoon position. That's how Raccoon was when Goku elbowed him to the elbow. Two of the most disrespectful positions we've ever seen in Dragon Ball history, recreated here. You got the white-haired Saiyan doing his best Yamcha. You got Bluma doing her best Raccoon. This shot right here is freaking hilarious, and I love it. I love the details, man. They be going hard with these Dragon Ball games and the details, thinking we wouldn't notice, but man, that is hilarious. I never noticed that, y'all. That is too funny. Oh my gosh. So yeah, after my man gets done playing and pretending to be Yamucha, aka Yancha, he's getting up there. Bluma's getting up there. Both of them getting their heads are feeling, their heads are hurting. Though it look like they both went body first into there. So yeah. Don J in the chat says, can you imagine what Dragon Ball Age 1000 would look like if it was in the art style of Dragon Quest? The realism would be next level. I don't think I see too much of the Dragon Quest and everything, but I know Toriyama did the design and everything, but Sure, I can imagine because shoot, Toriyama, a master character design, so I'll take your word for it and all that stuff and everything. And just yeah, I know he was working on the last Dragon Quest game that came out before he had passed away. And yeah, this is just looking great. And you get Bluma here. Now this is where things get very interesting. So even though she's hurting, we see this start to form around her neck, and it looks like one of those halo things. Now we know Bluma obviously is cool with Beerus and and it kind of reminds me of the halo that floats around the angels, and it makes me wonder, is one of the things, maybe it's not the Dragon Balls, maybe it's not time travel, maybe Bluma did something really good, made them some sort of really good food that they enjoyed, and Whis has gone ahead and probably didn't given her this halo thing that has been able to allow her to reserve her youth or do this time travel. I mean, Whis can practically do anything, as we saw in Resurrection F when he reversed time and stuff like that. So, and he brought Frieza back to life. So yeah, I just want to know more of this story here. This is looking really, really interesting. So I just can't wait to find out exactly. It's got to be one of those theories that everyone is thinking about with Bluma and everything. One thing's for sure, ain't no way in heck she just happened to live that long through natural causes. Ain't no way. And so we get Bluma up here and getting up and stuff, and it looks like she's holding this thing that ended up opening the windows and stuff like that. And there you see the white-haired Saiyan, and this is like she had to really rush over here and let him know something, absolutely something and stuff. You're from I'm Divine Power. Thank you for joining the chat. Your username just screams to me of Zamasu. You mortals, I am Divine Power. Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, this right here, yeah, I just love the whole background, and I think this is our last parting shot in it. And there you go, Xenoverse 3 2027, and it's going to be exclusive on current gen consoles. So I'm assuming this game is going to absolute max what the Xbox Series X and S and 5 can do, and obviously PC has no limits and all that stuff, especially the technology continues to rise. But yeah, I can definitely say, having done this background, man, I have more appreciation for all the details that went in this. Shout out once again to the late great Akira Toriyama, man. I know Akio Yoku was saying at the Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour that he did the character designs and he did all like the concepts for how the worlds would look and the artwork. So really cool. And I always wanted to see what Dragon Ball is like beyond the end of Z. As I mentioned, I never played too much Dragon Ball Online, still educating myself on some of the stuff as well and stuff like that. But one of the things here is this is really cool that from the mind of Akira Toriyama, we get to see what things were like at the end of Z. So I'm glad to see that. And I'm just really interested with Xenoverse 3, where this might play into the future of Dragon Ball, but I'll save more of that for the analytical breakdown later on in this live stream. We're going to get to the next portion, which was Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, and that brought the hype. All right, so as we get into Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Break the Limits, we got to look at Gohan from the BoJack movie once again as he's coming in flying, and this was shown in the previous trailer, and we get Vegeta and Goku, of course, doing the Kamehameha and Gallic Gun that they did in combo attack that they did in Dragon Ball Super Broly, and we got Bardock